So I am currently on my way to make what is probably gonna be the worst financial decision I've ever made. Just a little hint, it wouldn't fit on my other trailer. I had to get the car hauler. So I didn't end up filming at his house because it started raining, but the guy I bought it from was super cool. He actually knew my dad from back when they were in the oil field together. So it was pretty cool to meet him, but check this thing out. 2013, just like the one I had before. Can-Am Maverick 1000. This one has a 5-inch Kavos lift, tuner axles, and 4-inch Gen 3 portals. Got the cut BKTs. These do not look professional. I'm not too sure if he just did them himself or what, but 9.5, so that's the 37s on 20s. Fuel wheels. This thing is a little beat. If you look kind of close, you can see it's got some issues, but at the same time, it's got a lot of aftermarket stuff. So he did just replace these bottom A-arms. You can see how the paint looks way newer. Because he said the ones that were originally on it weren't strong enough for the portals, and he ended up bending them. So they sent him a replacement that's built for these portals. You can see this side over here. It's just kind of out of alignment. You can't really tell from the back side, but you can see the back tire on this side straight. But on this side, it's kind of wonky, sticking out a little bit. This thing is pretty dirty, so I'll go ahead and get it off the trailer and get it washed up. We'll start looking at this thing. Handle on this door is a little messed up too. That piece is like barely holding on there. But you can see it's got the audio roof, snorkels, rear glass, front glass that's flippable. You can actually flip it up. Oh. Oh, this is definitely a chip key. I don't know if my other one was like that. Okay, fan's coming on by itself. Guess he has that hot wired. Maintenance required. Okay. Well, let's fire it up. Yeah, I knew it was gonna fall off those ramps. Only thing I'm really worried about on this thing is the belt. He said that it has a STM secondary clutch, a new belt, and the primary spring upgrade. But from what I understand, it sounds like it still has the stock primary on this thing. And you guys know my luck with those, so I'm just gonna pull this stuff off and see what's on here. We can go from there. Somebody loves some self-tapping screws though. They got self-tapped in there, self-tapped in there, down here, down here. You just ruin the plastics. I can't understand why. Even down here in the floorboard, all self-tapping down here. Dang, I'm gonna have to remove those just to get this off. Dang it. What kind of monstrosity do we have going on here? So we got I guess they ripped the inserts out and had to put nuts on the back there. And then this is like the other cover I had. It's got the port on the cover too, which means you gotta have 3 snorkels. So this one goes back, that one goes back, and then the one down there goes up and around up the front, which is kind of annoying. It sucks that there's 3 snorkels instead of just 2, but at least with this on here, that means that this has the stud upgrade. So it's got the stud instead of the bolt. The same thing I did to mine before I sold it. Looks like we got some kind of oil leak in here too. Can't really tell where it's coming from. There's none on that cylinder. It's just on this side. Honestly, like, the top end on this thing looks pretty new. Like, even the heads look fairly new. Like, look how dark and dirty the case is, and then the cylinders and the heads. They look like they've been replaced or at least rebuilt before. Yeah, well, so far it looks like he was telling the truth. Looks like the stock primary. It's actually in pretty good shape too. And it does have the stud upgrade, so it's not a bolt, it is studded with a locking nut and everything on the end. And then you got the STM secondary clutch, which is nice to have. And this belt, like he said, does look brand new, so at least he was telling the truth there. Whoever owned this thing before him though, really did not care about these plastics. I mean, there's literally holes everywhere just for no reason. There's random wires. I have no idea what that goes to, but that's to power something. And something really cool is this thing actually does have the power steering stuff here. It's just missing the actual motor in there. So I might end up trying to get a power steering motor, because it's got the module and everything right here, and see if I can't get that stuff working, because I really wanted a model with power steering and I didn't think this one did, but looks like it did at some point. But this thing is low on oil. I checked it earlier and it's not even on the stick. So it's a little concerning. Well, maybe there's a little bit down there, but it's definitely low. I'm also missing the grab bar right here, and that really sucks. I have no idea why he would take that off. So now you can really see how out of whack these tires are. It's actually kind of hard to tell on camera. Let's see on this one. You really can't tell on camera at all. But the machine is basically right there, and you can see the tires pushed out and sitting like this. I can't believe it doesn't come across on camera. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of hard to tell on this machine anyway, because you can see there is not a straight body line on this thing anywhere. Like even the bottom rail down there like curves in the front. So like basically this is straight and the wheels turn just a little bit left. You can see it's not lining up with that front wheel at all. That would be dead straight. You can see how it's just like angled out. It doesn't look like very much on camera, but in person it's really bad. I'm guessing the reason why they're so off is because he said he replaced these bottom A-arms. You can see how they're just a completely different color. They're like brand new. He said he never even drove it on these yet. And well, yeah, you can see this locking nut's literally loose, but that ball joint's brand new. So he just put that on before he sold it. And I'm guessing he didn't really get it adjusted right because he never drove it. And if you look on there, it's got a lot of adjustment. I mean, it could go in a lot more. So the only thing that sucks about that is, you know, you got to turn the actual ball joint in there. So I actually have to unbolt it from the portal plate. And in order to do that, I'm gonna have to jack this thing up. I could just adjust these track bars, but I don't think they have much adjustment in them. As you can see, they're already backed out pretty far. And the tires are sitting kind of out. Again, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but you can actually really see it from the front. So that's straight. You see the wheels cocked out to the right a little bit. This side's even worse. So I'll just go in a little bit on that bottom ball joint down there, and it does sit forward a little bit, so I think it will help turn the tire straight. So I'm gonna adjust it before I try to adjust that radius rod. Just because these radius rods, you can see they're sticking out pretty far already. And the more threads you have in here, the better. So I don't wanna have them sticking all the way out, you know, with just a few threads holding. It's so cool. Just a couple videos ago, I was talking about how cool these long A-arms are on these. And now I have a machine with them. It's only a 5-inch lift. It's not the big 6-inch or 8-inch lift, but it still looks super cool. You know, now that I'm looking at this bed, I got an idea. Will the old toolbox for the Polaris fit on this thing? Let's drag it over here. Oh yeah. That is perfect. Because it has bolts on the bottom, so all I got to do is bolt it down to that tray. That'll give me a lot of extra room to carry more stuff. So like I said, unfortunately, there's no way to adjust these without taking them off the portal plate. And you can't even adjust them while it's on there. You're gonna have to take it off, set it, put it back on, and just kind of guess where it's gonna be. There it goes. So you can see how this, like, show you guys. With just this adjustment, it'll go kind of back and forth. Because I think it's sitting like right there right now. So if I tighten that A-arm in, it should kind of straighten the tire up too. I'm just gonna tighten this in a bit. Of course, the locking nut on this side's loose too. So that'll be 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. Probably do 5 turns in first. We'll just see where that's at. See how hard it is to get this thing back in here. Now I just gotta do the same thing on this side. Go in 5 turns. That's, well, I guess this is half turn, so 1/2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I went in way too far. Now they're sitting pigeon-toed. I'm gonna have to back them out probably about halfway, just meet right in the middle. I ended up just going 1 turn in from where it was originally, and I think it's pretty close, so now I just gotta get that tire pointing straight. Only way to do that is by adjusting that tie rod. It's got a giant locking nut on it. It's bigger than 1 1/16. Jeez. I just need to go out with this. I really don't have much threads here though. Should probably just start with one turn for now. So I ended up having to turn those way out to get them straight, but they look pretty close now, at least the rear. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. This is a little bit concerning. It's like the cases on the diff are actually broke, but just haven't broke quite enough for it to go through the case, I guess. It's a little scary. I did go through and measure the tires. Like I put a tape measure in the middle here on the front and then on the back to try to get them the same length. And I did it on the rear, so I think it should be close enough. I am gonna go through and replace the fluids in all the gear cases, but I might not end up getting that on camera because I only have 2 days before the Muddy Bottoms event. So I'm gonna be kind of in a rush to get all the accessories and stuff I wanna get on this thing. Front diff fill bolt is right there. So you just drain it, take that out, fill the fluid up until it drains out the top right there. Rear diff, same principle. You just drain it out of the bottom and then take that plug out, fill it up till it starts running out the top. And then for the transmission, fills right there. And then the drains down there at the bottom. These heads, you can tell, were at least cleaned up or replaced or something because they don't match the case at all. They look somewhat new. That doesn't look like it's in all the way. Oh my gosh, bro. Seriously? It's just sitting in there. I'm so glad that didn't fall out on the highway. I can't tell if it's like siliconed in there or what. Like it doesn't want to turn. Hold up. Got my little tool I made for the other Maverick I had because I don't have a Allen key big enough for this. Bro, that thing is barely in there. Literally like 1/8 of a turn and it came off. Oh my gosh, bro. Seriously? It's literally broke. The threads are split. Well, it's good to see it didn't have silicone on it, but it looks like that's what's about to go back on it because this thing has to be done in 2 days. And I doubt I can find one of these caps locally. So this is gonna have to go back on. Crazy thing is this is literally plastic. Like I can move this with my hands. Like it's literally plastic. The amount of plastic that they use on these engines is extraordinary. From the valve covers to the little access bolts down there. Straight up plastic. So I just pulled those threads the rest of the way off. So now there's only like 1.5 threads on there. Put a little bit of silicone on it and hopefully I'll get it to grab just enough for it to sit on there and let that silicone dry. So I got all these covers off trying to trace this wiring because there's a big wire here, 6-gauge wire, just running straight back there to the battery. It's not hooked up and I'm not sure where it goes. I have no idea what this is. You can see the leads are just looped around back here. This big wire runs, oh my gosh, it goes way back in there. What the heck is that? It goes to a box in there, that box goes off a wire, that goes to another plug. I just need to take that grill off up there so I can see better. But this one also has sport mode right here, but it also has sport low. And I have no idea what that is. My other one didn't have that, but it is factory wiring. You can see it goes right into the harness from factory. So not too sure what that switch is for. Sport was working in low on my other one. It just wouldn't work in reverse, but that's what the override switch is here for. So I don't know, I'll just have to try it out, I guess. One of the reasons why I never put the road grill on my other one was because it's inconvenient to get these off. They come with bolts that you're supposed to bolt it down here and here. And you can see what they did is just put some sheet metal screws in it all the way around. I don't know whether to be annoyed or grateful because at least it's not Allen keys. Oh, that thing's heavy. Okay, so we got a distributing block up there. That wire's coming off and going around to this relay. Power in, accessory out. Where's the orange wire going? Because we got power and then turn on. Oh, none of it's hooked up. I wonder if they were using that for anything, because this blue wire goes down to the fan, straight down to the fan motor down there. Well, into the harness, I guess. Then, okay, so these wires were for these lights. And I guess he just had them hardwired in to the power wire right there. All right, so it's making sense. I'm guessing that these light strips down here aren't RGBs. They're probably just solid white. That's why it's only 2 wires going to them. It's just a positive and a ground, no signal wire. So I'll probably try to hook those up. They're probably not very bright, but this thing also has the LEDs. See the plugs and stuff for them, harnesses. I think only the outside ones are LED though. I think these are stock. Not sure. I do want to pull this airbox lid off though. I'm curious if it's actually sealed or not. Oh, well, there's only one clip holding it on and a couple zip ties. Okay, I can respect that. Okay, I can't respect the self-tappers going through it though. Whoever owned this thing freaking loves self-tapping screws, man. There's literally holes everywhere with self-tappers in them. Like, why, bro? Even down here, like, buy new clips. Why are you putting holes in the plastics? Look at all these holes back here. Even up here. All the way around the machine. Holes up here. Like, why? Don't even get me started on this fender. Jeez, it almost looks good having all the bolts in there. All right, got those out. This thing doesn't feel like it's sealed down. Oh my gosh, there's another one. Got the marine grease all in there. Go ahead and drop the air filter back in. Got grease around this cover, so we'll go ahead and get it on. If you guys don't understand what I'm doing, basically grease and water don't mix. So the idea is if you seal this with grease, water won't be able to actually penetrate it and go through it. It'll just kind of rest up against it. I've seen several people do it and it seems to work, so I'm gonna try it. Went ahead and did this belt cover the same way. And this clutch and everything looks fine. There's not really anything I can do with it, so I'll go ahead and get all this stuff put back together. Well, I got the lights to work. Pretty bright. It is missing the one right in the middle, but the reason it wasn't coming on is because this wire back here is like really thin. It's about to break off. See how it's like changing the brightness of it. I'll have to put a new connector on there, but I'm just glad that those lights work because the headlights on this thing are pretty bad. I went ahead and got all the lights that I pulled off my Polaris. You see the relay down there? And all that jumble of wires back there. I got the whips on here, got them all mounted up. Just used the same brackets. Just went right through the bar there. The washer on bottom. Put a light bar right here on the back, which I think honestly fits in there perfectly. You see it right there? It's just a narrow one. Got the light strips in there. And then on the front, got a light bar up there. Got it all wired in, light strips up there. Then I got one behind this cover right here, so it lights that up. Got one down here, so it'll light that grill up. And I got those all wired into the switch. which they already had a hole cut out for one. So I'm just gonna put it right there. Can't really tell because it's daylight, but they're pretty bright. I still have that light bar, but it's a little bit too big to fit in there without looking weird. And I have the little 6-inch light bars that I had on this too, but again, I just can't really get them to mount on there very well without looking weird. So I think this will be good for now. I really do want to mount my tower speakers up here somewhere, but they're just a little bit too big to fit on there anywhere. I might just end up building an actual tower speaker rack right there. It just goes straight across. Not sure. So I was testing these speakers out and they work great, sound really good, but they have a lot of interference in them, like crackling and stuff. And it's kind of intermediate only whenever I'd like rock the cage and stuff. So I got this radio pulled out. I'm gonna see if I can isolate where it's coming from. Is it on? It's not making any noise now. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so it's just the speaker wire connections. I'm gonna have to go through and redo them. I don't know why he only used 2 of the wires off the radio, because there's only 2 speaker wires going up, but all the speakers are playing, so I guess they have them doubled up. I don't know why he would do that though. This radio has plenty of channels. I am gonna need this remote turn on though, because I am gonna put the amp, the tower speakers on the back of this thing, so I will have to run this out, and I'm gonna have to hook up RCAs to the back of this radio. I'm just not sure where I'm gonna run them out from, because all these wires run out here, and I can't really put any more out right there. So also, this is the weirdest looking antenna I've ever seen. It's like, it almost looks like LED strips. It's kind of funny. All right, got these connectors off. It's not that one. Not that one. No. Oh, that must be it. Yep, that's the culprit. So I put some tie downs on this box to keep it from flying off that thing. And for these speakers, these little wooden brackets that I made were made for square tubing, so they actually won't sit on here without rocking back and forth super easy. So I think I'm just gonna put these boards under here, push them all the way forward like they are now. So I think they're pretty centered right now. And then I'll just glue these down and then start gluing in these shims just so they can't rock back. It should make them a lot more rigid. Don't mind the rain, but I pretty much got all the wiring done. These over here are just for the amp, and then got my switch in, radio and everything working, and I went ahead and got everything mounted up on my box. So we'll go ahead and get that thing on there and see what it looks like. This is not gonna be fun. Oh yeah, this thing got some weight to it now. Well, now what? Just put some oil in this thing, so I was letting it idle, and I don't know if you can hear that. There's a pretty bad exhaust leak right there. Then on this side, the freaking header flange is not even bolted in on one side. That bolt right there is about to fall out. That rear header is basically not even bolted down right now. It's about right. So the way you change the fluid on these portals, so you got the fill hole right there. You can see I already got it out, and then the drain on bottom. The fluid in these things are really dark, and it smells like burnt gear oil. And I got all the fill and drain bolts broke loose on all 3 of these, except for this one, because they were both already stripped out before I even mess with it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do because it's literally the day of the event. We're gonna be driving out there in just a couple hours, so I might just have to run it with the fluid that's in it. I really don't want to. You know, they're aluminum portals. It's aluminum fill and drain bolts, so you can't weld anything on there. I mean, I guess you could if you had an aluminum welder, but I don't. So I guess the last thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull this grill off, because you guys know I got that Rogue grill, and I think it would look a lot cooler in there, but you gotta pull the factory one off and cut all these fins out in order for it to fit in there. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. They've definitely had this grill off before though, because it doesn't have the mounting bolts up top. It's just got these holding it on, and then 2 Phillips down here holding it on. Also, the radiator in this thing is massive. I mean, that thing is huge. It doesn't really look like it on camera, but that's like 2 inches thick. So I think it'll be really cool once I get the Rogue grill on there and you can actually see it. You can really get a good look at that radiator now. That thing is huge. Looks like a truck radiator. Went ahead and got all those clips off. Now these should just come right out. There we go. So that's the inner grill. Okay. So this has to sit right in there. Yeah, so I just need to cut these fins out right here, flush with the bottom, leave these sides in here. There's probably a lot better ways to do this, but I'm gonna try to do it the fastest way, just with the Sawzall. See if this grill will fit in here now. I might actually have to get rid of the middle. Yep, that middle's got to go. So I was gonna self-tap this thing in here, but it did have these little clips that was holding the other one in. So I think I'm gonna use those and just super glue them in. There we go. Figured I'd show you guys what these lights look like at night. This light bar on the back looks really good. Some of the lights aren't working right now just because the connections are a little loose, but got the grills lit up. And there is one in here that lights this up, but the connection's just kind of loose right now, so it's not working. Went ahead and got those drain and fill bolts broke loose. If you're ever doing this, make sure you break the fill bolt loose first. Make sure you can actually be able to fill it up before you drain the fluid out of it. But you can see that bottom one down there is loose. I'm dying to see how bad the fluid is in this thing. These things weren't on here very tight at all. They were just like snugged up. So I'm thinking that they probably replaced this not too long ago. Oh, yeah, that stuff is black. All that metal on the end. These do have magnets on the end of them. Should be pouring out of there faster than that. It doesn't look the best. This fill bolt too. It's got like an oversized washer on it. It's all like busted and stuff. Well, that's a long bolt though. And of course it is plastic. Just so you guys can see all the metal on the end. So this is the drain bolt, but what I can't get over is this is the fill bolt. It's literally completely plastic. Even the threads are plastic. I mean, that is insane. I don't know how much that transmission's supposed to hold, but that does not look like a lot. Got the 75 over 140 gear oil to go back in it. Get the drain plug back in it. Just using a hose that's going down in there. Just squeezing it in. Just gotta wait for it to start pouring out down there. See it's draining out of there. So we'll go ahead and get that fill cap back in, and that's done. And I finally got my hands on some Portal Blood. You cannot buy this stuff locally anywhere around here. You have to drive over an hour just to find a store with this stuff. But luckily one of my friends had a bottle just laying around, so we can go ahead and swap the fluids in these portals too. Just got to pull a little drain down here on the bottom. Oh my gosh. I wonder if he just ran like normal gear oil in this or something, because that does not look like the Portal Blood that's supposed to be in it. You can see this stuff's red. This stuff's like blue. It looks like it's got some metal shavings in it too. Just like lightly got a metal tint to it. There was not much in there either. It smells burnt. You see the little bit of metal on the end there. They're not bad, but definitely used. And the fill plugs is over here on the side. Same thing as the transmission, just fill it up so it starts running out. Here it is. It should be good. Go ahead and get the fill bolt back in it. I just got to do that for each portal except for this one up here, because the drain and fill bolt were both stripped out already, so I cannot get them off. I'll have to get new drain and fill bolts for them and then just, I guess, drill those out eventually, but I'm literally going on a ride in like an hour, so don't have time for that. Okay, this one don't look near as bad. Still got some redness to it. You can tell it's used though. It's still got some miles on it. That's a good sign though. I'm really hoping, since this one has new fluid in it and that one has stripped drain bolts, they probably went ahead and replaced the fluid in the front too, at least. So hopefully the fluid in that one's not too bad. Oh yeah. That's what the left side rear looks like. It's definitely got some mud and water in that at some point. Oh, I'm so glad I changed these. So like I said, I'm not gonna change the fluid in this portal, unfortunately, just because I can't get them drain bolts out, but that's pretty much the only thing I'm worried about on this thing now. So the whole time we're out there riding, I'm gonna be concerned this thing's gonna lock up or something, but I don't plan on road riding or riding really fast anywhere, so it should be fine. But I mean, as of right now, common issues that I know, or problems that I know for sure, that portal has old oil in it. The exhausts have bad leaks at the header. Both of them. One don't even have bolts in it. I don't know if it's ready for this ride, dog. We gonna find out for sure, but I don't know right now if she's gonna make it the whole weekend. It might surprise me though. It's a Can-Am. Brother, what? That is brutal. All the way to the highway and then some. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a minute.
Yeah, just a short one, huh?
The line's just getting longer and longer.